This bell has been echoing through the streets of Evansville for generations.
I've been involved with the Old Courthouse Foundation for almost 5 years now. In that time, I've seen so many great things happen to this building. I came on knowing it was just an icon of the community. Obviously, it had been a part of my whole life in the skyline of Evansville, but never really had a chance to really dive into the history, the passion behind the board of directors that oversee the foundation, as well as the commissioners who really make it their job to make sure county funding is always extended to keep this place going. It's such an architectural jewel in our entire region as well as nationally. And since then we've done things such as engagement events, lunch on the lawn, we've had our night at the Old Courthouse, all to raise funds for the many renovations that still need to be done on this beautiful building on areas that have been somewhat neglected in the past several years. In the 5 years I've been here, we've seen renovations done on all the main hallways, on the old probate courtroom, the ballrooms. Recently, both of them, the county commissioners and county council funded the restoration of those, as well as what you see behind me, the Bicentennial Park, which was underwritten by the foundation to really create walking paths in a sense of a park-like atmosphere to encourage more gatherings here. But never in that time, in those 5 years, have I ever seen a need as greatly as the one we have decided to really tackle this year. And that is our clock tower and our clock faces. If you can see behind me, you can see the beautiful clock faces, the amazing architecture on the outside, but the inside is what really needs to work to keep it looking as good as it has for the next generation. They are so iconic to this building. Everyone recognizes them. There's been countless artists, photographers, even just people with their cell phones who love taking pictures of this. And that is something that we want to preserve for future generations.
We're now on the bell level of the old Vanderburgh County Courthouse, and here we can see several of the components that we hope to take care of in the upcoming renovation. Starting with our bell. The 2.5 tons of bronze that has rung over 8 million times since its installation in 1890 needs a little tender loving care. Every few years it should be rotated just a little bit. And apparently they were doing that maybe for the first century, but for the last few years it hasn't happened. Instead of a little bitty scar where it's been hit over the years, now there's a big dent where it hasn't been moved. We've got to take care of that. The hammer itself, 100 pounds of iron, is just a little wonky, and we've got to get this rebuilt and re-supported structurally so that when it lands, it doesn't just rest on the bell, it retracts. We have to take care of our openings, which just have sort of some old fencing across them that keeps the birds out. It's not very attractive either from inside or from outside. That really needs to be updated. Some of the components from the other floors, staircases, wooden enclosures, are all part of this big project leading up to this point. We're now at the clock level in the bell tower, and as part of the renovation project up here, we have some emergency needs. The clock faces themselves, which are made out of iron, glass, wood, and brick. Each of those materials are in desperate need of renovation. The brick, the mortar and the brick itself is loose and coming out. The woodwork, and this is a piece that I just picked up off the ledge, is decrepit. The ironwork is rusty, and the glass, as you can see here from this face, and this is typical of all four, is broken and cracked. Some of them even have missing pieces. So we need to focus on the bell tower and on the faces of these clocks as part of this overall bell tower renovation, and we need to do it now.
As a county councilman, we're very interested in keeping this old courthouse as a legacy for our community. I know all the other council members in Vanderburgh County, every year they vote yes to keep funding this old courthouse. But a project like this is really something we need the community to help us with. We pay some money for the infrastructure and to keep it in good shape, but we don't really come up with enough money every year to do all the projects that we need to do. Our biggest need now is the Clocktower. This could be a wonderful showpiece for our community. It would be fabulous for people to see and to visit. It'd be like walking back in time. So please, help us, help this old courthouse, and help us repair the Clocktower.
This is our time. This is our building. As Vanderburgh County citizens, as Evansville citizens, we need to make sure we do our part. So I'm asking you to help. Help us save the Clocktower. Help us restore it so that it can live on for many more generations.
This bell has been echoing through the streets of Evansville for generations. Now is the time for our generation to make sure it continues.